Welcome to the Panic Button, everyone. I'm Nina. So today we're reacting to Best Buy refused to sell this man a laptop because he said, "Thank you, sir," to some man pretending to be a woman.
I want to speak with a different manager because you're not going to sell me a laptop because I'm not going to call. I just said, I said, "Thank you, sir," because he was going to get me a laptop that I was going to purchase, right?
Yep.
And then he turned around and said, "I'm not going to sell you a laptop unless you call me a ma'am."
Okay.
And then you said that I wasn't able to even buy the laptop if I'm not going to be respectful. I just said, "Thank you, sir." That's a ma'am.
Yep.
And I said, "Thank you, sir, for getting me a laptop."
If you're willing to just...
No, I'm not willing to.
Hey,
I'm not going to say it's a mistake. Listen, I'm not going to play those games with you today.
Okay.
I'm here to purchase a laptop.
If you can't just admit a mistake,
It's not a mistake. I didn't make a mistake. That's it. You're going to grab me a laptop, man. Now, either if you're going to help me, then fine. Otherwise, just give me a different store employee even that is willing to just get the laptop for me so I can buy it. Please. I didn't make a mistake, sir. I'm not doing this today. Realistically.
you feel good recording this too?
Yeah, I am going to record it because I want to have it on video. I just feel like it. She has pronouns. It's a man.
What the heck is that all about? I mean, he tries to buy a laptop, says, "Thank you, sir." And then we've got all this going on. And Best Buy is trying to say, you can't give us money. You can't purchase a laptop from us unless you call that dude a woman. Best Buy, what the heck is going on here? I won't be shopping there anymore if this is the case.
So that happened, and people are upset about it. Now, this guy eventually did get his laptop because when it comes down to it, corporations like Best Buy, they only care about the bottom line. They'll do the virtue signaling, they'll do all that inclusive bullshit, but when it comes down to it, it's all about the money. So the guy who was selling this customer a laptop didn't look like a woman, long hair, and the name tag said a male's name, Shane. I've never heard a woman called Shane before. So when you're saying, "Thank you, sir," and you're just being polite, whether because you're in the South or because you grew up saying it like that, you're going to be harassed, you're going to be hassled, you're going to be corrected, educated, because you use the word sir. Well, that's pretty fucked up. You don't expect to, go into a store, you're going to buy a laptop, and you're just being polite, and then you're corrected. Like, you don't expect that. You just expect to go in, get the laptop, and then leave. So what this does is it creates a pattern of normal people avoiding anyone who looks like they could be trans because they just don't want the hassle. You're not expecting to go into a store and be corrected, like I said before. It seems like the customer was almost expected to be psychic. Like, I see a man, he's got long hair, okay. Name is Shane, man name, okay. Gotta be a guy. Oh no, it's not a guy? No, it's ma'am. It's ma'am. All right, so now I'm expected to be psychic or else you're gonna correct me. Like, the gender ideology shit, people are just so sick of it. I'm tired of it, and I'm even part of the damn stupid-ass acronym. So doing this, it's just making the trans cause, the LGBTQ shit, look bad. It doesn't make them look good, because if you are pressuring people to say words that they don't believe in, to believe in a reality that's not reality that they don't believe in, to believe in an ideology or religion that they don't believe in, you're forcing people to do something they don't want to do just in order to go into a store and buy something. That's pretty messed up. It's not even about courtesy at this point. It's about trying to force speech and ideology on strangers who just want to go in, buy something, and then leave. Most ordinary people are going to respond to this with polite avoidance or neutral language. They won't even say, "Thank you, sir," "Thank you, ma'am" anymore. They'll just say, "Thank you." They'll avoid it at all costs, or they'll avoid the person who looks trans at all costs, just so they can avoid the confrontation. And the avoidance is caused by the demand to affirm something that they don't believe in, that contradicts biology and contradicts the appearance, the reality of what they're seeing. They're trying to force affirmation, which is a form of control. And then the activists, they get angry because the people don't want to say the words. So then they avoid them, and then the activists get mad that they're being avoided because they created the situation. You know what I mean? Like, if you create a situation that makes people want to avoid you, and then you complain about being avoided, you're creating your own non-acceptance, your own downfall. And the thing is that these people, they want to be the trans crowd. They want to be accepted. But the thing is that forcing affirmation isn't acceptance. It's control. It's not real acceptance. It's actually self-defeating. So do you want acceptance or do you want control? Because I'm seeing they want control. They don't want acceptance. Acceptance is freely given. It's not forced out of somebody. This strategy, it reduces public acceptance, and then they'll complain about the lack of acceptance they helped create. So why do they keep doing this? Well, ideological commitment, because the ideology is the most important thing to them. They treat it as absolute and that it must be enforced. Absolutely. In the short term, the institutional wins, like having Best Buy allow this to go on, they feel like that's progress. And the fight itself, the fight to get people to gender them correctly, it actually provides a purpose, a status, and a clear enemy. See, they have to have the enemy in order to get funding for their causes and all this stuff. So the only way to really keep that enemy is to act like an asshole, pretty much, to force compliance and acceptance on people that don't want to be forced into saying or doing or believing in the stuff that they believe in. By doing that, they're making it so more and more people want to avoid them. And there you go. They've created the enemy, the monster that they have to fight. When people before didn't care, as long as you didn't try to correct that, like you can't force people to say what they don't want to say. You can be like, well, I actually believe that I'm a woman. Oh, okay, how was I supposed to know that? And why do I care? Why are you telling me about your personal life? Like, I don't want to know. I just want to buy the stupid thing. I want to buy the fucking laptop. Why are you, it's bringing ideology into a place that shouldn't have ideology. It makes no damn sense. I don't know, man. It's a whole big mess. And I'm sure this is one instance out of many that have happened that actually haven't been filmed. Who is to determine what's moral and what's not moral? This guy believes he's a woman, but he's not. But he's forcing his belief system on someone else. But they wouldn't like it if they forced their belief system on them. So why is it fair that they can do it, but nobody else can? That sounds like they want control. It sounds like an asshole move, if we're being honest. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. So people are up in arms about this. They're actually very upset. They did leave out the fact that he was sold the laptop. But the point being is that people don't want to leave the house and have to deal with this shit. It's really fucking annoying. Every time I have to go out and I'm using the bathroom, I'm looking around because I'm waiting for some fucking dude to be in there. And I've come across men pretending to be women out in public many, many times. This isn't just like a one-off. Oh, they're a very small portion of the community. Why do I keep seeing them then? Why do other people keep seeing them? It doesn't seem like a small portion. It seems like a large portion. And even if it is a small portion, these are just one-off situations that I keep encountering. Well, at that point, it seems like a very small portion of society is being very controlling. Let me give you an example, okay? At the age of 40, a woman is supposed to get a breast exam, where they squish your boob. And, they got to go to the gynecologist like every year. The problem I have is that I have agoraphobia, which means it's hard for me to leave the house. I also really hate being around people. I can't stand people for the most part. It's just they just make me uncomfortable. But I have to get these exams done. But in New York State, they don't have to tell you if the person who is going to be touching your body is a biological man. They don't have to tell you. And if you call, they have the ability to lie to you. So I've chosen not to do it because I am scared as shit to have some dude pretending to be a chick touching my body when I didn't consent to it. And that's what I'm talking about. And you can't even bring it up because the medical institution is so infested with gender ideology that if you even ask, you're looked at and treated as a bad person. So I can't even just ask a simple question and get a simple answer. I'm going to be looked at nasty. I'm going to get snide remarks. And I just don't want to deal with it. We didn't have to deal with this before, and now we do, because men identify as women. But it's not a big deal? Women who identify as men. They're not the crux of the issue. It's the men who identify as women. Because New York State's blue, I cannot trust anyone in the medical institution. If I'm going through like a mental crisis one day, I'm not going to go see a therapist because they've been invaded by gender ideology too, infested. So I can't even go to a therapist and just be who I am because now I have to tiptoe because these people think men are women. It just doesn't make any fucking sense, and it drives me crazy. And I know for a fucking fact I'm not alone, and the other women do the exact same thing. They're going into the bathrooms, looking around just to make sure they're avoiding exams and appointments and things they have to do because they don't know if some dude who's identifying as a woman is going to be touching their body when they're not told it. Because they don't have to be told. So if I go into a gynecology appointment and I'm on the freaking table and a guy comes in who's identifying as a woman, I'm not allowed to be told. So guess what? New York State is allowing the man to have control over my body when I didn't consent to him fucking putting his hands on me. So New York State is complicit in sexual assault, right? Exactly. Yes, it all just tumbles and tumbles and tumbles into just this fucking nonsense, crazy shit, all because men identify as women and people on the fucking left and people in positions of power in the government on the left, Democrats, blue, allowed this to continue and allowed it to infest every orifice of society. So who pays in the end? The girls and women who don't buy into the bullshit. And guess what? That's majority of women. New York State. Democrats. I hate them. I hate them with a passion. They make my life more difficult so they can make the lives of some fucking guy I don't know more easy. It's not even you're like giving them rights or you're making their life easy. You're giving them a fucking privilege over women that they don't fucking deserve. It's pretty fucked up. And where do you go from here? You just have to wait? You think New York State's going to turn around and not do this? Think New York State's going to turn around and be like, maybe we should let women know that men are going to be touching them in the doctor's office? Think they're going to do that? No. What we have seen, especially since 2024, is that these assholes keep doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. And we have to pay for it. Like and subscribe, everyone. Comment below. Hit the bell. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Cry